Hello, here's a new tool, xImporter. Basically it takes FBX animations and allows you to put them into Game Guru Classic, an easy way of doing it with characters. So let's get started. I downloaded a character from CG Trader. It came in different parts, the textures were separated, come with a Unity package, and the mesh was just a standard FBX file. So the first thing I did was the textures. I run them through xConvert. I've got some DDS textures. So my desktop, TDA, textures, selected them all. DXT1, I know there's no transparency in any of those, and converted them. Okay, so I have my DDS textures and I just rename them to the correct naming convention: metalness, normal, AO and colour. So once I had that, I checked the model in 3D viewer and it wasn't quite right. Just go to 3D viewer, the mesh. You can see what I mean is by not quite right. If we put the guide in, it was absolutely massive. So all I did there was scaled him right down using the human guide, made him a little bit taller. Yeah, about that size. Then I just moved him, do it with the widget, it's a lot easier. Just moved him more to the center so he's more centered. Like so. And his feet are just off the floor, so we'll bring him down slightly. There. That's all I did. And then I exported him to FBX. That gave me the Parasite FBX here. Now, to make sure that the textures looked okay, I put him into toolbag. There's not really any need for that, but I just wanted to make sure that all the textures were fine, and they do look fine. If a bit shiny, but that could be reduced anyway. But yeah, that was fine. So once I did that, I got my Parasite FBX. I then uploaded that to Mixamo. This is where the fun starts. So I got my character. So the first thing I did, I wanted a base character. So I want an idle animation for the base. So I just gave him a basic idle animation. As you can see, that's fine. The first animation, idle, I recommend you use idle as the default, so that's what displays in the editor. So with the first one, when you download it with the skin. But more importantly, see these figures down here, just cancel that, these here, that's your maximum frame, there's 59. You need to keep a note of these. So it'll always be 0 your start frame, but the end frame is 59. So on a pad or on a notepad, whatever, just over, we'd have idle 0,59. You need to keep a list of your animations, and the only one that you do with the skin is the base one, the one that starts at 0, as it were. So I've saved that with a skin. As you can see here, I've already got them. So parasite idle. That's the other thing I would recommend as well, is name the animations to what they are. So the creature name or your character name, underscore, and then what the animations are. It makes it a hell of a lot easier in the long run. Okay, so the only one with a skin there is the idle. Okay, so if, say for instance, let's go to the walk, I think it was mutant I used. Yeah, mutant walking. From Mixamo as well, always select in place for the walking or moving animations, running, whatever, in place. And just check his arms don't cross, because you can actually increase his arm space. Mixamo is very easy to use actually, it's very straightforward. But the most important thing here, again, is the frame numbers. I think he's actually going a little bit too quick there, so if I bring him down a bit more, I don't want him too fast. Got a lot of weight to carry there, he's carrying another person as it were. I think that would be fine. So that's his walk animation. So when you download this, make sure you choose without skin, and then when you save, name of the creature, walking, walk, whatever, and then just save it. But don't forget this number here, 62. So the walk 0,62. You need these frames, definitely need these frames. The other important one as well is the attack. So if I just search just for the mutant, there are mutant swiping, I think I used for this one, there it is. Now he swipes with his good hand. What you can do there, because he's got one deformed hand, is if you click mirror, he'll actually use that arm. Okay, now this one is 80 frames. Why I say this is important, 0 to 80, if we just pause that, you see the actual swing of the arm. At one point it strikes the player, which I would say about there, that's frame 39. You need to keep a note of that hit, what I call a hit frame. It'll become apparent later. So all we need to do in the text is the attack. We'll use attack is 0 to 80, hit approximately frame 39. Okay, straightforward. So if you go through, do all of your frames, you need 7. In this app at the moment, the current limit is 7 animations. All animations are required. This is for the script, just testing purposes. In future it will be expanded and it'll be unlimited, or you can knock frames off, whatever. But I did all my animations and I saved them all. So I've got 7 here. The next thing we do is we have to go into Game Guru. Actually just get rid of the one that I've actually got already created. Wait till that's loaded up, so I can take you through it. So it's not a magic importer, but it makes the job a lot easier. Let's just minimize that. If I go to my entity bank, I've already done the import but not added the animations. So go to Parasite. So here, the FPE, you'll see that it's default and there's no animation set. Okay, so what we need to do is create these DBOs. What I like to do is create a new folder on my desktop, call it the character name, DBOs. So we've got that there. So the main one, this one here, is one I've already done, but I took the idle name out. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But the rest of them have the names in. Okay, so let's go back to Game Guru and do the initial import. So he's on my desktop. We get him there. That's actually the idle one that I've put there, but it doesn't really matter. Let Game Guru do its thing. Okay. Obviously you can't see him because we've not added the textures. So let's add the textures first. Desktop. DDS textures. That one is the one we want. There we go. You see the height. As I set the height, I brought his feet down. So we've got him in there. All the textures are loaded because we named them correctly and made sure they were right. So what we need to do now is select anim. Don't worry about him disappearing. Default static set to no. Is a character is yes. Go all the way to the bottom. Just leave everything else as is. Save entity. And we go to the entity folder, which was entity bank user right. I know it's already there, but I'll choose that one. Save. Okay, so I'll go back to entity bank user parasite. There's the one we've just saved, and this is the basic DBO. Okay. A couple of things you might need to change in this. One of them is the strength. Definitely whack that up. It depends on what you want, but this creature needs to be quite strong, so I set his strength to 200. Collision mode, set that to 21. Like I say, set it to whatever you want, but I set it to 21 for the character. Just save that. Okay, so that's the FP sorted for the basic. Now these here, all the rest of them, all I did there was import model again. This time chose the animation list and forget the idle, we've done that. Walking, open. Okay, change to animation and then save entity, put it on the desktop in the DBOs. So this one will be, like I say, the character name spelled correctly, and this is walk, the walk script. Save. Go through, do them all. So let's do the run script. Set it to anim. I don't think you really need to do that, but I've been doing it. And this one is run. Next. This is the long laborious thing. I will get the app to read DBOs once I've worked it out. It's a bit difficult with DBO being closed, but I am going to try and get that done. So go through each one and do them all. I won't go through them all now. So once you've finished your DBOs, you'll have a folder like this. Of course, there's a lot of things in there we don't want. All we want are the DBOs. So the rest of the things, that's the other thing, the latest version of Classic doesn't create the BMPs correctly either. Get rid of all of those. And then we'll end up with a list of DBOs, which, if you see in the original folder, is what I've got here. So I've saved them all. Now this here is where we need the frames. So first thing we do is select the base model that's required for the file name. So I did it from my desktop. You don't have to do it from desktop, wherever you did it from, but the original file that you started with, select it and it will give you these options here. So like I say, the current limit is 7, all animations are required. So this here is the description of the idle. It's asking for a file name. So all we need to do, select that, go to your Entity Bank user or whichever folder you set them in. I didn't put idle under that name, which I should have done, but I know that's the idle one. So we select that. Now this is where your list of frames comes in. Where you made your list, I've got a full list of mine. So the idle I know is a total of 59 frames. Okay. The walk tells you up here which animation you're choosing. So we're choosing the walk. This is another reason why it's best to keep the names identifying what they actually do. The walk was 62 frames. Run, that was 34 frames. Jump, that was 113. Attack, total frames on that one was 80. Hurt, that was 59. The hurt frames are when the character gets hurt, not the player. The player is hurt with the attack, the character is hurt with the hurt. And the death animation was that one, 109. You see, it's a nice tidy list. This is why I was saying use the character name and the description of the animation. It makes it a hell of a lot easier in the end. So what we need to do now is tie all these together and calculate the frame sets, so it's a single animation. So that's where this comes in. So we calculate the sets, boom, done. So here we go, the walk, run, jump, attack, hurt, and death. Now if you remember the attack, we said that the hit frame was 39, but that was to do with these total frames. So if you make 272 becomes 0 and 352 becomes 80. So all you need to do is just add 39 to 272. So I'll show you that in a second. But the next thing we need to do is the FP that you created. If we select that, which is this one, let's just double check that. I think it is that one. User, yeah, you see there's no animations in that. So let's just leave that there for a moment. So it's this one here, user bank parasite, yeah, entity bank, yeah, that one. Open that. Right, this is where, so the start is 272, the finish is 352. My reckoning for this would be 303. Confirm frame, play set to the yes, it's correct. And then now what we need is to create the lure. Done. And there's the script for it. So if we save that, just save it to the desktop for the time being, so that, well actually no, I'll save it in Entity Bank, the script bank. Save it in script bank. So that it's already done. Okay, save. Okay. The script was one that Small G had put on the forums, and it's been edited for this, and I'd like to thank Small G for his help with this. It's been marvellous. So if we look at this FP now, what we will see is we'll have the animation sets. Okay, so all the animation sets have been set in correctly, and the animax has also been set, and play animation in editor. So let's test this theory and bring this into Game Guru. Like I say, it's not a magic importer, but it makes the job a lot easier. Let's import Parasite, which is here. Bring him in. Here's with his idle animation. So let's be brave and see what we can do with him. Give myself a gun. Just have the Coulter link. Apply. Let's test it. Now, here he comes. And there's his hurt animation, as to tell you when you hurt him. So let him attack us. That frame, I said 303, slightly out. That can always alter. Let's get there's his death animation. Now, you'd be pleased to know that I've done all these tests on a few characters now, as it's just a working out, but it all works in Max 2, which is a bonus. So if I just add him, he should be in my, there he is, there you go. Obviously I've not put the script in with this one, but as you can see, he works perfectly fine and his animations do work. It's just the script, there's no point me scripting him yet because Max isn't finished with the AI yet, so that may change. He's a lovely looking character, and that's it basically. So thank you, speak again soon.